I'm Dr. Kongsak Tanphachitr. Today I'll be talking about 24/7 mindful awareness meditation. Basically, it's mindful awareness through body and mind movement. The Buddha stated that we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make our world. This is from Dhammapada 1 and 2. So, why does one suffer? One suffers out one's own biased thought, embedded with greed-headed delusion, is sneaking with your thoughts. Buddha stated that mind is luminous, not tainted with transitory mental impurities. One emphasizes transitory, that means not the true nature of the mind. These mental impurities is a guest that transit by, but it home in. Didn't want to leave you because you don't see it. It's with your bias, it home in your mind and corrupt you with hatred and delusion. So it's important to catch a thought as it arises, to clear your mind, return the mind to luminous mind. The Buddha stated that an ordinary person or worldly hit with the first arrow, which is natural pain from aging, sickness, and death, in Pali called sabhava dukkha. And he also was hidden by the second arrow, which is mental suffering, or Jittasupo. For example, like depart from your loved ones, did not get what one wants, or got what one doesn't want. It's a self-inflicted Jittasupo. It's generated in your mind, cause mental suffering, which makes you suffer throughout your life. But enlightened one was only hit by the first arrow, hit with the first arrow of sabhava dukkha, or natural pain, but not hit by the second arrow, no mental suffering, no Jittasupo, as he catches on by his thoughts. This is Salatta Sutta, volume 18, topic 369, page 240. The Buddha described, stated that 4 foundations of mindfulness. He declared that it is the supreme path that will purify all beings. Let one transcend grief, sorrow, lamentation, overcome suffering and unhappiness. Let one understand Essential Dharma, or middle path, or unbiased path, or noble eightfold path, and realize Nirvana, unconditioned state, ultimate peace and happiness. These are the benefits of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Luangpor, the Thai meditation master, stated that the 4 foundations of mindfulness created the Buddha. And the Buddha saw this as the key towards ending suffering, to attain enlightenment. So, why 4 foundations of mindfulness? It's a reverse engineering technique to catch one's thought as it arises. Through these 4 foundations of mindfulness, one would see oneself. Buddha see life form is 5 aggregates of existence. A person consists of form, including body, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, thoughts, feeling, perception, thought formation, and consciousness. These are the 5 aggregates or 5 group of existence of clinging and make one suffer. So on form of body, you meditate on the body of oneself, feeling, meditate, self-observation of one's feeling, perception, one observe it with mindfulness and self-awareness or mindful awareness. Thought formation, meditate on mental phenomena, and consciousness basically is the mind. You meditate on the mind. This forms the 4 foundations of mindfulness. To get rid of desirable and undesirable nature that arise of the body, feeling, mind, and mental phenomena. Therefore, there is no more driving force to commit karma or action to please one's phantom ego, which is not truly existing there. It's temporarily existing when it interacts with the environment as a self-concept, self-image, hologram. The Buddha declared that volition or intention is karma. This is a picture of a lava of the sea squirt sponge. When it's a lava, it had a head and a tail. It will swim around just like mosquito larva until it finds a good piece of the rock. It will anchor there and digest its head out. So only the body existing with no head. So it was intentional. So the Buddha stated, I declare intentional volition is karma or action. Because he found a right place to live and a nice piece of the rock. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is basically paying attention to the present moment with intention, non-judgmentally, letting go of judgment or unbiased perception. When you talk about mindfulness, the Buddha described that there's 2 components there. It's mindfulness, which is asati, is self-recollection, self-remembrance. And then there's self-awareness, or sampachanya, clear comprehension, clear knowing, full awareness, conscious awareness, wisdom in action, basically. So it's a virtue of great benefit, these 2 virtues, mindfulness, asati, and self-awareness, sampachanya. Sati, or mindfulness, basically retrieve or seize a phenomena. Like you go to the airport, you have to go to gate A, B, or C, and they retrieve you there. It's like a mindfulness. And self-awareness is like a TSA agent. They come in to investigate the phenomena, investigate to see, X-ray you, scan your belongings, your backpack, your shoes, and so on. You see there's no hidden arms, and you're not terrorist, you're a good person. They scan your belongings and find out there's no hidden agenda, any arms or anything to harm other people. So Buddha advised that one should self-observe, self-monitor to cultivate self-awareness and mindfulness constantly, 24/7, with perseverance, with constant diligence. This will generate samadhi or concentration, mental concentration. Self-awareness lead to panya or wisdom, and mindfulness, self-remembrance, retrieve the phenomena for you to investigate properly with wisdom. So basically self-observation, self-monitoring of body, feeling, mind, mental phenomena, to get rid of desiring, undesiring nature that arises at your body, feeling, mind, mental phenomena. Therefore, there's no driving force to commit any karma or action to please one ego, which is phantom ego, self-image hologram. So self-awareness, meditation master Kovid Kemananda stated that self-awareness is the Buddha. It's a roadmap as well as the treasure, because you tread through this self-awareness constantly. It will lead you to the middle path to reach the treasure, which is enlightenment, Nirvana. Another great meditation or insight of Vipassana meditation master, Satyanaranja Goenka, stated that self-awareness is the Buddha's enlightenment. It's the Buddha's greatest discovery. It's the Buddha's gift to mankind. Another great meditation teacher, Luangpor Pramod stated that lack of self-awareness, it would be difficult to realize the truth, or ultimate truth. Basically, with this self-awareness of wisdom in action will allow you to see the true nature of things as they really are, the three universal marks of existence: impermanence, imperfection, and selflessness, or not self. One would be liberated and abide in the greatest happiness. When you meditate with self-awareness and mindfulness, basically you play musical chair. Mind can only engage in only one mental object at a time. When one is aware, unawareness disappears because mind can only engage in one mental object. And mindfulness is like the king on the throne. Mindfulness sees a king, let him rule on the throne, not going out deer hunting or engage in other activities outside the palace. So when the king is on the throne, he's ruling with self-awareness and wisdom in action, securing the fort, so there's no enemy there attacking the fort, because they know the king is there to protect the fort, protect his kingdom with wisdom in action. So bias perception causes craving to please phantom ego. This has been described in the 4 Foundations of Mindfulness. The Buddha described it through your 6 sense spheres, or salayatana, eye, nose, tongue, body, and mind. You perceive things through corresponding consciousness. When you see sight, eye consciousness is active, temporary exists, arise and cease. Ear consciousness when you hear sounds. Tongue consciousness with the taste. Nasal consciousness with the smell. Body consciousness with physical contact. And mental consciousness with your thought, temporary arise and cease. So contact through this 6 sense sphere, and corresponding consciousness, specific consciousness, result in feeling a vedana, which is the fruition of the contact. It's fixed. You cannot deviate from that. You cannot forbid the mind or oneself to feel because of that contact and exposure to the environment, to the sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, thought, to see it as enjoyable, pleasant, or pain through such feelings. Perception, with pure perception or sanya, followed by biased perception, sanya chetana. Chetana means you have intention. So you perceive intentionally, that means you have biased perception, resulting in craving or tanha, which is the cause of suffering. Disturbing thought of vitakka and vichara, obsessive thought will follow, resulting in your karma, committing action. In the modern world, neuroscientists also see things in a similar fashion, like you perceive through sight, sound, or touch, or thoughts. You perceive things through a specific pathway. Your brain perceives it with pure perception, but then followed by eye tag or bias perception. You generate a self-image hologram or self-concept or eye tag. And you can see it on the MRI scan, functional MRI scan, the feedback loop from the back of your brain where your visual center, visual cortex, perceive the vision through your eyes. It feedback to the midbrain 5 times stronger than the incoming, the input. So you can see how much bias is going to be generated from that such bias perception. And neuroscientist Professor Damasio, head of neurology of U of Iowa, stated that in parallel with generating mental patterns for an object, the brain also generates a sense of self in the act of knowing. So this results in craving with sensual desire, liking and disliking, was known as second noble truth, described by the Buddha in the Four Noble Truths, ultimate truth. But the Buddha stated it's not parallel process, it's sequential process. So it's in more detail than the current neuroscientists. It's a sequential from pure perception. It's corrupted by your ego, causing bias perception, sanya cetana. So with cultivation of mindful awareness, one would stop at pure perception without followed by bias perception. So that's the end of suffering, because there's no cause of suffering or craving to end up to resolve in suffering. So this is the Nirvana or Nirodha, end of suffering. As stated, life form in Buddhism consists of 5 aggregates: form, including your body, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, thoughts, form, feeling. Form is a physical aspect, and the mental aspect of feeling, perception, thought formation, and consciousness. Consciousness is formless, but leave a trace behind as feeling, perception, thought formation. These are called mental activities, or Jittasupo. So we perceive things through our 6 sense spheres, ayano sangbad in mind, with pleasant, unpleasant, sight, sound, smell, taste, such thoughts. They are endearing and pleasing, or the opposite. If you perceive wisely with pure perception, perceptual processing with pure sanya and pure feeling, or vedana. Like I said, vedana is fixed. It's a fusion of your contact. You cannot escape that. So with active and neutral perception is pure perception. There's no more further action but pure perception. It would stop there. So craving would be abolished and ends. And basically it did not start to exist because you're mindfully aware. But with bias perception, this is followed by conceptual processing, sanya cetana. It's a passive and through your sankhara is bias perception, cause craving, arising and sustain, cause suffering. One suffers because of one's own thoughts. Thoughts basically space and time. Thought and concept always deal with time and space. They are not pure perception, not through direct experiencing. It's not savasangvedana. It's not mindful awareness. It's being conditioned by one's own biased perception, sanya cetana. So you're in the conceptual world, not the ultimate reality. So one suffers out from one's own thoughts, Luangpor Teean described. The Buddha described that past is gone, future hasn't arrived yet. So why waste time suffer through that, your biased thoughts? So this results in ignorance of being fooled, being foolish, being fooled by your own not understanding the truth, not realizing the truth, like not seeing the Four Noble Truths, not knowing suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, and middle path to end suffering. These are the Four Ultimate and Four Noble Truths. And not knowing that you're trapped in the thought of the past, not knowing you're being trapped in the thought of the future, not knowing in the stream of thought that stems from the past into the future. Like you have someone, your friend, that borrow you $1,000 last year and never returned it to you. And you have planned to talk to him tomorrow at the meeting that you will get to see him. Plan what to say to him, what you're going to do to him, ask for him to pay back and so on. So in the stream of thought in the past into the future. And the last one is that not knowing that the present is based on dependent arising, law of causation, that you're here because you have made commitment in your mind this morning with mindfulness and self-awareness that you're here attending this talk and so on. So how one practice? Through self-observation, self-monitoring, a body, feeling, mind, mental phenomena, with self-awareness and mindfulness continuously to get rid of desiring undesirable nature. You can practice day and night, formal practice as well as informal practice, which is more important. Unbiasedly observe without anticipation, without indulging, without intervening, remain equanimous in what you encounter. And practice with joy and bliss. Joy will lead to bliss, calming of your body and mind, lead to happiness, steady mind, lead you to concentration, mental strength, and vipassana, insight, wisdom. Get rid of desiring, undesiring nature, arise your body, feeling, mind, mental phenomena. So mindfulness of the body can be done through observing body movement or changing nature. The three described by the Buddha, like mindfulness of breathing, 16 steps in there. Observe bodily movement of the breath without moving your whole body. In four major postures, walking, standing, sitting, laying down. Or self-awareness, subtle movement like stretching, bending, eating, drinking, and so on. Another method is to observe changing nature, like filthiness, elements, earth, wind, water, and fire, and 9 channels stages. Self-awareness through observing body movement, like stepping forward, backward, looking ahead, sideways, stretching and bending, dynamic rhythmic meditation of Luangpor Teean, getting dressed, eating, drinking, chewing, tasting, urinating, defecating, walking, standing, sitting, laying down, so include the 4 major postures. Waking up, talking, remain silent. We do this with the purpose to awaken your body and mind. Aware your body, awaken your body. Aware the mind, awaken your mind. Environment that's suitable for that. Any place that generates self-awareness is the best place of practice. And then the theme is on observing body and mind, or name and form, so that you can be like while you watching dishes and so on, or sweeping. As your example, you can circle your fingers to awaken your mindfulness, or touch the tip of your fingers together, or both hands, and then or by open and close your fist, you can sense this self-awareness, fresh feeling, without thoughts. In sitting meditation, you can observe Put your palm on both knees. Till your right palm up, you're aware. Bring it up to your chest, you're aware. Down to your tummy, you're aware. Left palm, same way. Till your right palm up. Bring it up, down to your tummy. Slide your right palm up. Bring it down, turn it down. Left palm, same way. Doing like this continuously with your eye open. And don't fixate your mind, your hand. When you're aware of your body, it awakens your body. Aware of the mind, it awakens your mind. So you become aware of your body, you're aware of it externally, through a hand movement internally, you're aware of your posture, you see phenomena arise and cease all the time. The impermanence, imperfection, selflessness, a three universal mark of existence. You acknowledge, mindfully aware, body just a body, no person, no being, no self in it. War of craving and concepts, not clinging to a body or anything in this world. That's how you clear yourself from suffering through aware of your body at your body. Again, keep your eye open, don't fixate your mind to anything. Don't fixate your mind, your hand. Simply be aware of the movement, aware of the body, awaken the body. To get rid of desirable and undesirable nature arise in the body. So no more driving force to commit karma or action. Similar to the feeling and mind, aware of the mind, awaken the mind. The phenomena. So aware of the body, aware of the feeling that you may sense physically as comfort, discomfort, internally, mentally, as happiness, unhappiness, or neutral feelings upon such contact. Dependent or independent of five senses of sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch, or that independently occur in the mind itself. You feel rising and ceasing of such feeling, fleeting nature, no person, no being, no self in it, the war of craving and concepts, not cling to anything in this world, through being aware of feeling at your feelings, getting rid of desirable and desirable nature happen in your feelings. Now, no driving force to commit karma. Same thing when you're aware of the mind, awaken the mind. See what's the nature of your mind this moment. Mind is wandering or non-wandering. Stay put, like roaming around like a little monkey. Have no control of it. As if it has a life of its own, with or without greed, hatred, delusion. Mind manic or depressed, developed or undeveloped, surpassable or unsurpassable, concentrated or scattered, freed or bound. Acknowledge mindful awareness of the mind is but mind. No person, no being, no self in it, not yours or mine. We're free of craving concepts, not clinging to anything in this world, through being aware of the mind, your mind. Get rid of desirable, undesirable nature at the mind. Same thing with the phenomena. You're aware of your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Interact with sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thoughts. Generate internally with your eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nasal consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mental consciousness, corresponding consciousness. Arise and cease, temporary existing. And become aware that phenomena is but phenomena. No person, no being, no self in it. Not yours or mine. Come to free yourself from craving and concept, not cling to anything in this world, through being aware of your mental phenomena, at all mental phenomena, getting rid of desirable and undesirable nature at your mind, at your mental phenomena. Your mind becomes disenchant, discern, and liberate. Through universal mark of existence, sometimes it's difficult to perceive, it takes times. Like physically, you can see a baby in the crib become a toddler, a teenager, a young man, middle-aged man, old man, and death. Like each chapter, one way, each chapter of the life of your book, the life of your book. And you generate self-image hologram in your mind. Mindful awareness, become aware of the bodily movement through dynamic meditation, like we practice on. And mindful awareness can also catch the thoughts or mind movement. Mind is formless, but you can catch through your thoughts or mind movement or mental phenomena. You can come to realize the true nature of things, that things are impermanent, imperfect, and selfless in nature, unstable, unbearable, uncontrollable. Continuity blind, impermanence, movement blind, imperfection, and bundling blind, uncontrollable, selflessness. So you can see it's arising, enduring, and ceasing. It's temporary existing. And you come to see the true nature of things. All phenomena are not worth clinging to because they are unstable, unbearable, uncontrollable. You suffer because you go against the true nature of things. Lead you to inside wisdom. See the burden of clinging to oneself through these five aggregates as self, through your clinging as self, self-concept. Mind get wiser, become disenchanted, discern, dispassionate, and liberate, release from suffering. And that's what I want to emphasize through this talk, that you can generate your self-awareness and mindfulness to end suffering through develop your mind with insight, wisdom. You cut rope amongst life is a pearl, no birth, no death. The fact that we move, Luangpor Teean stated, is to awaken ourselves up. Whenever we think, let it be aware. Awareness will extinguish greed-headed delusion. If we extinguish clinging or attachment, then our mind would be normal. When it's normal, it comes into contact with us. We would feel and sense it all. Whenever we feel, it would be as if that thing is being severed apart like a cut rope. Then a person doesn't exist. This is what is being said, that the Buddha killed people to death, leaving only the life of a monk. A monk's life has no death, no birth, and no death. Luangpor Teean Jittasupo. Luangpor Kamkian, Suwano, also described in self-awareness or sampachanya. Why self-awareness is so important. Meditation would not be fruitful without it. Self-awareness, sampachanya, is a Dharma practice. It is mindfulness, sati, and self-awareness, sampachanya. Keep sati and sampachanya within one's body and mind, or simply refer to them together as self-awareness. Meditators' standing ground is self-awareness. Self-awareness is the only essential Dharma in the palm of one's hand. Self-awareness let one realize suffering, as well as the end of suffering. With self-awareness, there would then be detachment and letting go. Ceasing and extinguishing would come through self-awareness. Self-awareness includes morality, mental concentration, and wisdom, a threefold training of Buddhism within it. Self-awareness is avoid doing bad deed, doing good deed, and purify one's mind, or the Buddha's core of teaching, or heart of Buddhism, or three fundamental principles of Buddhism. Self-awareness would also result in liberation. Luangpor Kamkian Suwano. And basically, it's like the Dharma, or the truth, in the palm of your hand. Through this self-awareness, that you come to realize that this handful of leaves, you realize the Four Noble Truths of suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, and middle path to end suffering, through this simple practice. Thank you for your attention.